but you have said the right thing. AI is the future. So I move on to the next speaker and the woman entrepreneur. She has an experience in business strategies with a demonstrated history of working in the technology and SaaS industry. She's passionate about leadership, change management, design thinking, and organizational transformation. So please welcome the multi-award winning leadership development and HR expert, Ms. Sofia Kakkava, if I'm pronouncing it correctly.
You're doing a fantastic job. And do I have a... Hi, everyone.
You have to put it on. Just put up. Yeah.
Hi, everyone. Do we have the slide there? Yes, perfect. How many of you believe that women can change the world? Raise your hand. How many of you have at least one inspirational woman in your life? Thank you. Thank you for being here. We're all here because we believe in leadership and the power of women. I'm very grateful to be in this event organized by Nushin, a great example of female leadership. In the next 20 minutes or so, I would like to discuss with you about women, the leadership role, and the different roles that we have in modern society, and share a little bit about my story and how I ended up being on this stage in Dubai. Let's see how this works. Almost. Can someone assist me with this, please? Oop! Here I am. So my name is Sofia Kakkava. I come originally from the heart of Greece, the land of the gods and goddesses. And I'm very, very privileged to be right here sharing my story. I travel a lot. I've traveled solo, doing my trainings, leadership, coaching, public speaking events, and working from 40 plus countries. Most of these travels I did solo by myself, really showing that women can be at any place they would love to be. Let's be honest, we're talking about leadership, and leadership doesn't start in the workplace. Leadership starts at home. Who is the first leader that teaches us how we should behave, show up, what are values? Parents, exactly. Usually, our moms. For me, the beginning of my life was slightly different. When I was a newborn, few days old, my father had to take me away from my mother because of severe mental health issues. So the beginning was a bit different than the traditional family. I was actually raised by my father, you can see there. And I was very lucky to be raised with the mindset of a winner, with the mindset of you are not the victim because this has happened to you. I believe Mr. Al-Mahmoud said that it's not about what happened. Don't identify with the story, create your own story. So my father always told me that I can do whatever I want in life. I used to hate Mother's Day, I'm sorry to say, at school, because I was getting bullied. Kids are mean sometimes. They would say, yeah, only your dad comes, where is your mom? But I said, I don't care, I'm fine. And one of the best things that happened to my life was my background in martial arts. When I was 5 years old, I started competing and fighting. And trust me, I've lost way more fights than I won, but this made me a world champion. I'm a few times a world champion in Korean martial arts. I've traveled to places like Las Vegas, and for me to fight in these championships, because of the economic barrier, I come from Greece, I had to even raise some funding in my local karate school in order to be able to go and compete. And I've learned one thing. No matter what happens, show up, you've lost. You can learn, you can go back, you can practice, and this is how you achieve excellence. I'm a coaching psychologist, lived in London, did my master's in executive coaching, and then moved to the Netherlands where I did my MBA, and I started my career in HR. I'm almost managing this. Going to the topic of AI, I've asked AI when I was playing a bit with a presentation, putting this together, I've asked AI to show me the role of women. And AI showed that women do everything. You can see there, on our laptops, going to work, then kids, we do everything. And this is the future. We can be anywhere, influencing businesses, raising families, and doing that at the same time, at the highest level possible. And we are here to support each other. We're talking about inclusive workplace, an inclusive world. We're very privileged to be in the UAE, where we're people from all over the world, feeling comfortable and confident to build our businesses, to bring our mission to life. I would like to share some data with you. Nowadays, women, we are about only 31% of the global leadership positions. Of course, depending on the industry, we heard that in banking there are a lot of efforts increasing the numbers. There are certain industries that we need some more work, but again, this is a marathon. We still have work to do, but we're getting there. Some more data. KPMG did a research, and unfortunately, more than 2/3 of the women leaders that you see in this room, that you work with, have had what we call bad experiences. They faced judgment, and they have been excluded from opportunities. That's quite high. I hope that all of us work on getting these numbers to 0. And what happens when we have a woman in our team or in our organization? Female brain works differently. We have a nurturing nature. We are creative. We can bring so much value. And I'm really, really proud to see that I was reading this research. About 18 Emirati huge firms and global companies, they have pledged to increase the women in leadership to 30% by 2025. Numbers are changing. And everyone in this room, we are the change. Here you can see some photos of my work in the field of coaching. I've invested my time, and I made it my mission to make sure that not only women thrive, but they also have that well-being and balance, because it can be challenging. And even though someone asked me that question 2 days ago, oh, do you organize women-only events? I'll be honest with you, I've never hosted a women's-only event so far. I actually have my clientele is mixed, because whoever would like support, development, they should be able to receive it, right? So even though I do not host so far women's-only events, I have been working with influential women, and I have seen the power that we have within us. And an interesting fact, for an organization to be considered inclusive, we are looking at the amount, the percentage of female leaders in that organization. Because women bring a ton of expertise, and they also know how to make you feel part of the team. Even though there are a lot of barriers for a woman to advance, I always love to say, for every problem, there is at least one solution, if not more. If we look what happens in our brain when we're talking about judgment, your amygdala, hippocampus, and prefrontal cortex, they form a panel. So whenever you're about to make a decision or a judgment, it's like that little voice that tells you, oh, this person can do this or cannot do that. This person is like this or like that. I had that very often in my life. People make assumptions. There is this book I really, really love, The 4 Agreements. One of the 4 agreements is, I do not make assumptions. Never assume what one person can or can't do just because you looked at them. You never know who they are, their story, their talents. One thing you can do is ask questions and learn. And this is how we can support women thrive. Get curious. Ask them what they love doing, what they're really, really good at. If there's something that you can support them with. And even though I don't like the term work-life balance, I don't believe there is such thing. It should be life balance. We're not our work. This is our life. If you want to support women thrive, allow them to build a life that allows them to be the leader. Because the role of the woman is the role that the woman chooses for herself. It is so important. And I really, really appreciate and acknowledge all the women at home that they choose to prioritize their life, their family. I recognize all the women that they go back to education, that they decide to start a business. This is a personal decision. And one role is not more important than the other. So get curious and support women do what they feel is right for them and the people around them. And be confident. I'm looking around and I'm just proud to see all these women here traveled from different places, working on their missions. And you're here because you have been selected and chosen, and you're going to be recognized for all that you have been providing. So give an applause to yourselves. When looking at optimizing and supporting leadership and in business, I like to approach leadership from a global lens. Here you can see one shot from some of my workshops in the UAE, in Dubai, and also the other photo is from one of my workshops in Tanzania. I spend a lot of time, a significant amount of my time in Africa, and I spend a lot of time in Tanzania. And the reason I mention that is we are very, very privileged to be here and to be exposed to these conversations, to be in a business hub. It's very, very easy to meet someone, find opportunities if you want to. That is not by default for everyone and in every place of the world. So when we're looking to empower women, we should be looking globally. And I was really, really happy to hear Nusin saying that you're actually doing some work with the government of Tanzania. The world needs our support. We have to show up first if we want to see the change. It's very easy to say, oh my God, this is bad. They don't have a lot of women. Oh, look how they treated me. I've never managed to get this pay that my male colleague has. I worked in HR for many years, by the way. And trust me, I've seen the gap. I faced the gap. I knew how much my colleagues are making, and I would just not receive the same pay. Why? We have to look globally and make sure that everyone receives equal opportunities. And if they do not, we are responsible for creating these opportunities. We are the ones who are going to empower women to thrive. So always remember, strive for excellence. Every day, aim to become at least 0.00001% better. There is the compounding effect. You are going to grow, and with your growth, you can help others rise. And it is our role and responsibility to show up, no matter what, and help others thrive. Thank you very much. And if you would like to connect with me, these are my handouts. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Sofia. Yes, we totally agree. Stay inquisitive. Ask when you don't know. Stay confident.